Hello, I'm John from IconicRC. It's May 2020 and we're in a lockdown in the UK. That means all Iconic events are on hold. We usually have one a month right the way through from about March, April all the way through to September, October. We're not sure what's going to happen this year, so I'm basically filming less. So I've gone back to doing some overview videos like I used to do. I stopped in around about 2014 when the event stuff really started picking up. This time around I've asked some friends to join me via like a Zoom video to help me talk about the cars, and I'm using archive footage that I've taken of some action shots, some video, and I've asked IconicRC members to contribute photos of the particular car as well. Now this is the fourth video in this series, and we're talking this time about the classic Tamiya Thunder Shot 1/10 electric buggy 58067, so the 67th Tamiya kit in that 58 series. This one was released in 1987. It got a brief re-release in 2005 as well. Now, some of you may recognise it a bit better without that hop-up wing. You will see some photos without the wing, but the example I've got here has been hopped up. It really does transform the buggy. Now that wing was available when this was originally released, and it came as part of the re-release kit in 2005 as well. So there we go. This is, you know, quite a landmark buggy for Tamiya. We had the Hot Shot series, so the Hot Shot gearbox that ran for about 6 models and stopped in 1987 with the Super Sabre. Straight away Tamiya released the Thunder Shot. So in quick succession we had the Super Sabre, the last of the Hot Shot series, and then we had the Thunder Shot, which was the first of the Thunder Shot series. That's a series of 4 buggies using this particular 4-wheel drive transmission. So I'm going to whiz this body shell off for a minute, so you can see, holding that a bit nearer to the camera. This is actually a scratch built Thunder Shot, so it's still got the mechanical speed controller in there. You get the driver figure, which is part of an Lexan piece that also covers up and protects the contents of that newly designed tub chassis. So that's Lexan. You paint underneath to paint the driver, and then screw on the driver helmet there. Yeah, so I believe the Super Sabre had started to try and cover up the tub chassis, but this is an all new tub chassis, all new transmission. You can see that you've got the blue arms, single mono shock at the front, twin shocks at the back, and yeah, if I think if you're going to visit a model shop around that time, then you were probably going to be going for the Thunder Shot rather than the Super Sabre, because this was the all new 4-wheel drive chassis. Okay, so there we go. Futuristic body styling, box art. You painted it, you masked it off, you painted the dark blue first. Didn't matter if you messed up the lines a bit because you had these lovely stickers to put over the top, and then you did the white. Now for me, and I've seen others doing this as well, it was just so easy to overspray that dark blue. Just the slightest smidgen just shows up glaringly on that white shell. I'm actually going to post up a picture of the shell that I completely messed up trying to paint one of these box art. So most people did just stick with the white and blue, but obviously you could do whatever you want with these bodies. Yeah, pretty cool. interesting look. You could argue a bit Marmite. such as that hop-up wing as well. Some people hate it, some people love it. I really like it, but I do accept it just really does transform the look of that buggy. The wheels were a bit interesting, they're an odd size. So you literally, if you're going to use those wheels, you have to use these Tamiya off-road tyres. No other tyres will fit on those wheels. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty certain. They're just a really odd diameter, the Thunder Shot series wheels. What else can I tell you about this? There's a nice stabilizer at the front, which is great. There's a part there called the A5. That is the weak spot of the buggy. If you manage to smack either of those front two wheels, it's likely that part there would fail and break your whole front suspension. Now you could only get an A5 on the A parts tree, which included the gearbox. So lots of people have got loads of gearboxes sat around while they've had to buy that whole tree to get hold of another A5 part, which is likely to have just broken again. So what people do with this chassis is put a brace across there. Now Tamiya have just re-released the Terra Scorcher, which was the 4th model in this series. They've not addressed that A5 part, so if anyone's bought or thinking about buying a Terra Scorcher, a lot of people in the hobby know about this already, but just look for an A5 brace. Even if you've cracked your A5 already, a brace part across there will solve all your problems and protect that car to make it last a little bit longer. So yeah, so the Tamiya Thunder Shot, this, as I said, was released in 1987. I've got a classic old radio race car magazine there. Now this race car magazine is dated February 1988, so I would say the Thunder Shot was available right towards the end of 1987. That is the official release year, 87. So yeah, I want to show you this, really odd. I pulled this magazine out, there's the Thunder Shot on the front. On the front they're also talking about the PB Maxima, the Kyosho Big Brute, but oddly the Thunder Shot isn't actually mentioned in writing on the front of that magazine, and if you look inside there is absolutely no mention again. Really weird. I love this sort of thing. So basically, yeah, look, there's a Kyosho Salute review, 4-wheel drive, rival for the Thunder Shot. The Salute, really an Optima. But yes, very odd. So we've got radio race car, February 88, lovely picture of a Thunder Shot on the front, but no mention of it inside. I guess they just didn't get it reviewed in time. So it interested me that anyway. If I grab the rival magazine, and this is the magazine that I used to buy when I was a kid, I, reserved it in the paper shop I worked in. Looked forward to that every month. That's Radio Control Model Cars Monthly. On the front there you can actually see what's that, Kyosho Raider. You've got the Thunder Shot and the Super Sabre. So in that issue, which is dated March 88, they've reviewed the Super Sabre, which was the last of the Hot Shot series, and they've also reviewed the Thunder Shot. That's how close together those two buggies were at release. The Super Sabre's awesome, but like I said, if you wanted a 4-wheel drive Tamiya, it's likely you probably may have already had a, I don't know, Super Shot or a Big Wig. You're going to be buying that Thunder Shot. Consequently, I'm not so sure too many Super Sabres got sold. I think people would have just been jumping all over this this all new 4-wheel drive chassis. There's a review, quite a simple two-page review. They just painted it straight white. I can't see a driver in there, so I think this possibly was another rush to get this one out. I'm looking for the author. I can't see the author. I'm looking at the Raider review now. That's just a couple of pages as well. Interesting if you're into this sort of thing. You can, if you look around, you can still get these old magazines. They're awesome. So anyway, that's the Thunder Shot reviewed. Same magazine as the Super Sabre. Fast forward. In the UK, Racer magazine is the only hard copy RC publication that you can get nowadays. I've got an Iconic column in that magazine, and in February 2019 you can still get these back issues online at the Racer website. I did a column on the Thunder Shot series, so you can read about all 4 buggies in the Feb 2019 issue of Racer magazine. Okay, so I think I've talked enough now. I want to have a chat with somebody. That somebody is Stuart Gaines. He's known as Gainsy. I've known him a number of years now. He's been with us right from the start of IconicRC. He's now an admin on our Facebook group, our sales group. He helps me out a lot in the background, and he happens to have a Tamiya Thunder Shot that is going to be entered into the revival and will be driven by his son Lee. So I just want to ask Gainsy what his plans are with that Thunder Shot, what he's going to change on it to get it race ready for the revival. So let's have a chat with Stuart Gaines now. Gainsy, Stuart Gaines, thanks for joining me to talk about your Thunder Shot, which I can see in the background there. I've been talking about this one, which is scratch built, yeah, with the big wing and all that on the back. That's absolutely standard, everything on there. But yeah, we want to see what you've done to yours, ready for the revival this year. So the revival 2020, end of July, massive. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that we'll all be let out of lockdown. We all can get our hair cut and get on with playing with our cars again. That'll be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, mate, can't wait. Literally, just cannot wait. All my cars are ready, and I just can't do anything yet.
Yeah, you're still able to work at the minute, are you? Yeah. So you have to go to work, come home, and you can't play. I don't know. So we'll be out of it soon, I hope.
Yeah. So we will, mate.
I've just been talking about this Thunder Shot. I just thought you might be quite interested in this radio race car. Yeah.
Very cool.
February 1988. Yeah.
Beautiful.
On that front cover, you can see it says PB's new Maxima.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, all those cars in there being reviewed. Lovely Thunder Shot on the front cover. Nothing in there. There's nothing on Thunder Shot in that magazine.
Really?
Yeah. You know, for people like you and me, find all this weird stuff fascinating. But yeah, they obviously thought they did the cover and thought they was going to get a review in there, and maybe the chap didn't get the review done in time. So yeah, lovely Thunder Shot on the front of that one, but yeah, nothing inside there at all. Well, yeah. Sorry, I just sort of realised that. Maybe I already knew that, but all right. Anyway, you've got that yellow Thunder Shot behind you.
I have. Well, I mean, this is Andy Wade's Thunder Shot.
Is that his colouring? Is that his shell as well? Oh, Brett.
It came to me in a sorry state, really. I don't know where Andy got it from, but it needed a good clean up. It was yellow, but it was missing most of the paint. So I got lucky. Most of it flaked off, to be honest.
With a hammer and it came off. Yeah.
Yeah, just give it a bit of a repaint, showing some battle scars from last year's revival.
You've got a great big Brett Davis sticker on there as well. Did that come from Rich Armstrong?
That certainly did come from Richard Armstrong. Yeah, I waited for about a year, I think, before I decided which car to put that on, and it just seemed to fit.
Yeah, I remember when we did the first Brett Davis, we were asking people to bring yellow cars if they could. This is Brett Davis of he used to drive Brum. So anyone watching this might wonder what we're talking about. It's Brum, the CBBC TV series. A chap who used to be into all the vintage stuff actually drove Brum, and we do a memorial event, don't we, in Dudley every year, and we ask people to bring yellow cars. I think that might have been a bit silly, really, because if everyone had, it might have got a bit confusing. So, not raced that at Dudley, though, have you?
No, this one, no. I only raced it last year at the Revival, and my lad is going to race it this year at the Revival. Yeah. Because I've swapped over to the Hot Shot class to race a load of guys from the Hearts Club. These guys, Lee and Richard and the other Lee and Martin are all coming up, and we're all going to race boomerangs. Yeah, Greg as well. He's got a boomerang. Greg, yeah, of course. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, so I've decided to let Andy's very kindly let Lee run this again this year, which is it was great last year. It was soaking wet. It was constantly raining when I was on, but it came good in the final. I think I started last and I finished fourth. I think so. Good. Up against the Cats, it actually did really well. Not bad at all. I was really surprised. So I'm hoping the boy will do well with it this year. Yeah. What have you done to it then? I'm sure it's not. Right, what have we done to it? Really, it's pretty much standard. Well, it is standard. I think it's got new ball races in it. Staying with the 2.0 wheels and the tyres from Schumacher. The standard wheels are a weird size. These are the big wig ones. Yeah. I'm probably going to put some Hot Shot ones on it. I think the gold plated ones. Right. We've got 1060 motor. The Speedo. You can't go wrong with the Speedo, can you? Really? The Hobby Wing. He's got a 15 double Yokomo motor in there. Okay, pretty quick then. Yeah, just picked that up from DMS Racing. They've got quite a lot of vintage motors. Probably worth having a look. Right, didn't know that, so I will do. So that's DMS, yeah. Yeah, they've got quite a fair selection of vintage stuff. Worth a look. Okay. Good guys, and always get it straight out in the post here. And I've put a Overlander 2 lipo in there, which just fits. All right, is that a rounded lipo but quite long? It is a rounded one, yeah. It's probably the longest one, the longest rounded ones you can get. I'm struggling to get it in the big wig. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at mine. You've got these. I suppose you can. They do flex, don't they? You can actually mount them wide, can't you? That would probably be the 8.4 volt that came with a wiggy back in the day. Yeah, it's not so bad because on Thunder Shot you've got extra mounting holes as well, so you could actually move these out a bit further. I'm assuming that was for the 8.4 pack back in the day. Yeah. They had them, I would think. What else have I done? I haven't done anything else to it really. What about the front? Have you braced the front? Yes, we have. Yeah, if you can just see in there, it's got the metal brace on the A5 part. Yeah, so that is needed because that is essential. That's an essential hopper. Tamiya re-released this briefly, and they didn't do anything about it, and they've now brought out the Terra Scorcher, and I still don't think they've done anything about that weak point. But it's serious. It will break. But that brace, loads of people do those braces, don't they? Sort of homemade buggies as well, and they do the trick and stop that happening. Yes, definitely a must, without a doubt. Yeah, like you say, cheap enough as well for eBay. Did anything break on it last year, or was it all pretty solid? No, I think we broke a one of the triangles.
Yeah.
Wheel adapter triangles, but I've got alloy ones this year.
Yeah.
Just got them, haven't put them on yet, but yeah, hopefully that won't happen again. Well, it won't, not with alloy. So yeah, literally, I can't wait to see my lad running this year because he's been doing all right with his modern car, and he loves the Iconic. So
yeah, he's getting quicker and quicker. I mean, he's about
his
4th revival this year.
Yeah, it will be his 4th one. Yeah,
4th one, right? Brilliant.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's praying as well. I can guarantee that.
I'm going to ask you a question, then, Stuart. I'm fumbling down here to get this back. What this wing is kind of like Marmite. Do you like the wing, or do you like it without the wing? I
like it with the wing. The wing was actually an upgrade back in the day. It was number 50339, and that was released on the 18th of February 1988 by Tamiya.
Yeah.
I think it was an option part with the re-re as well. I don't know if it came in the kit. I'm not sure.
Think
with the re-re.
Think it might have done.
Possibly. I mean, I like it. Well, I like that wing on it. I've tried mine or Andy's with a couple of other wings, and it didn't look great, to be honest.
Yeah, it totally changes it, doesn't it? I know some people don't like it. I like it. That it works with those colours and everything. But
yeah, for me,
I don't
totally.
know what you mean. There was a hop-up wing that you could get that would go on the Vanquish and a few of these models. I've got one somewhere. It was like a standard for that era of 4-wheel drive buggies, like a hop-up wing. But yeah, I know what you mean. I think it needs to be that one, or leave it off.
This is something I found out. I only found this out this week, actually, when I just had a look on Google. And the Thunder Shot was Tamiya's. It was the first time they released the kit as a complete kit.
Yeah,
So you could buy it. It was model number 57001.
Yeah.
And it included an ad spec pistol controller, had the servo, it had a Tamiya charger and a battery, and it had the motor as well. You could buy it. I'm going to send you that picture of the complete
I'm
kit.
glad you brought that up, Stuart, because I'd forgotten about that. That's a really good point. I think
out of the first 100 cars, there was only 2 kits that were released as complete kits.
I know the other one.
Guess the second one. What's the second one?
Sonic Fighter.
Yes, that's the one. 57002. The only difference with that one is that one came with a stick controller, whereas the Thunder Shot came with a pistol controller.
Okay, right, interesting.
Got a picture of that as well. I'll send you that.
I think that if you could get that Thunder Shot new in box, I imagine that's quite expensive. I've only ever seen it a couple of times. But I wonder if that was only for sale in Japan, in Asia as well, possibly. I don't know. I don't think it was over in the UK. I think we'd know about it and we'd see some more of them, wouldn't we? But yeah, lovely kit, lovely massive box to fit that transmission and everything else in there. Yeah,
I must admit that the pictures I got, I think they were from a guy on Tamiya Club, I think, who's got both of them, I think.
Right.
I forget his name, but it's possibly mentioned. It's possibly shown up in the picture. I'm not sure. But yeah, both really nice.
It's not Lars from Tamiya Base, maybe.
It could be Tamiya Base, possibly. Yeah, I was looking on a few of them.
I know he's got the whole of the first 100, so possibly. There's a lot of his info and pictures out there for sure. So no driver in your one then?
No, mate. No, not at the moment. Well, I haven't got a driver for him for it at the moment, so I might be able to squeeze one in if I could get hold of one. But it does deserve a new shell, really.
It looks all right. That's fine. It still stand out. It looks good.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got to do a bit of work to the front here. Possibly glue a new bit of Lexan in at the front.
Yeah.
It's just gone, and that was constantly flapping last year.
See, Stuart, you used to do. I mean, we've known each other a few years now. You admin for me, and I'm very grateful for that on the main Iconic
That's
page and the sales page. So you've kind of been around since we kicked all IconicRC off. And back then, you used to be a bit of a whiz and a bit of a master at the old airbrushing shells. Gainsy Graphics used to sponsor us back in the day for the revival, and then you got busy and you kind of stopped all that. You mentioned the other day that you might start it up again because you were really good. I know it's time consuming. And it's a lot to take on, but you might be starting up Gainsy Graphics again.
I possibly will start doing a few shells for some people. Had an inquiry today actually from
so
from
you're going to kind of just take it steady then, yeah? Because this must be hours and hours of work.
It's the planning that goes into it that takes most of the time. Designing, I like to paint everything. I'm not a fan of stickers, so I do like to paint every single thing on the shell if I'm doing it for a customer.
You did Space Invaders on the undercowl once, didn't you, on a car?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've done that one. Yeah, that was one of my first, and probably still one of my favourites, to be honest.
Right, yeah, that looks awesome. So yeah, Space Invaders on the underside. What was that? An Astute or something maybe, or probably an Astute?
No, it was a Bosscat under tray.
Bosscat under tray. Yeah, that's great. And I know you did an Iron Man one as well, didn't you?
I did about 3 or 4 Iron Man shells for Chris James.
Chris.
Yeah, very good customer of mine. And actually, the conversation today that I've had with the customer actually is about an Iron Man shell as well. So
popular colours.
Definitely, yeah. So we'll see that as a touring car.
There's some skills there, Stuart, mate. Honestly, you and the other guys that kind of done this as a sideline, I'm really impressed. I just used the rattle cans and just your straight Tamiya mask and tape. I think you need a lot of skill and a lot of patience.
I did get lucky really when I was starting. I had a couple of guys from the Upal website who took me aside and gave me a lot of advice. Ian Fakenbridge, amazing guy, taught me 90% of what I know probably.
Right.
And John from RC Identity as well. He's an amazing painter.
All right, RC Identity, they did our stickers. They did our number stickers for Revival last year.
Right, yeah.
Possibly using them again this year.
He's a great guy.
I didn't know we'd been around that long.
Yeah. John is. If you look up John's paint thread on Upal, it's amazing.
I was going to say. I was just about to say. I bet these are Upal guys, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, you think I'm a good painter? To be honest, John, I'm not in his league. He's stunning. Some of the things he does, absolutely stunning. And he doesn't just do shells though. He does things like motorcycle tanks and things like that, like the petrol tanks. He does, clever guy.
Quite good at this then. I've seen a lot of these, do this box art, and the amount of people, I've done it as well, I've trashed one that get the dark blue overspray, and then the white comes on, and there's all this blue overspray. It looks dead simple, doesn't it? It's just white, Tamiya blue. But the amount of people that I've seen that have managed to mess it up, but it's pretty cool box art, and that would be pretty easy-ish to do, wouldn't it? All these, these are all stickers, but you could spray that.
Well, we could do that in liquid mask. I'd do it in liquid mask, and I'd then cut the design with a scalpel.
Yeah.
That would be probably It's pretty basic, that one, but like you say, a really good design, really works well, I think. It's a bit of a futuristic shell, isn't it, really, that one?
Yeah,
Tamiya.
Yeah, that came out straight after the Super Sabre, and I think it was the first buggy that was a bit sort of futuristic and cab forward. I think I'm not holding myself to that, but it certainly was the first four-wheel drive buggy that arguably looked sort of futuristic. you know, and then, you know, we've got the Onslaught, and now we've got what we've got today with the modern sort of buggies. But I think that was just a futuristic look, wasn't it? Rather
Very much.
than aero now. But I think we like the boomerang, don't we? And that wild one I can see in the background, the classics.
Oh, we do. Yeah, I love this one. This is what we this is what I've luckily won from Phil Barlow last year's revival raffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is all up and running, been painted, and that's also my boy's entry this year.
Right. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah. Fire and Doors. There was a big raffle at Drivers Briefing, wasn't there? We called out the race numbers, and 46, your race number that you keep every year, got called out. It's just great that you built that and you're running it. Because some of these prizes, we never see them again. But there was a Schumacher donated a Top Cat last year. A chap called Paul won it, and he's racing it this year at the revival as well. So
that's cool. Great. Yeah. Good to see. Good to see.
All right, I'm gonna let you get back to your family and everything. It's where are we? We're kind of 1 week into May, aren't we? And I think we're getting a government update tomorrow on the lockdown. And we're keeping our fingers crossed for the revival and all the other iconic events. But, you know, I say fingers crossed I'll see you at the end of July, mate. Yeah?
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to it.
Okay, so big thank you to Gainsy for that brilliant chat. All 4 lockdown video chats have been great so far, and I'm looking forward to speaking to more of my friends in more of these videos in the coming weeks. So now we will show some footage. It took me ages to track down a Thunder Shot video. I eventually found one on road at a Snetterton Iconic meet from 2015. Now this is Piers Lincoln's Thunder Shot, racing it at the tarmac Snetterton track that's no longer with us, I'm afraid. But we had some great meets there, and a big thank you to Piers for taking his Thunder Shot that day, which has allowed me to put some, you know, half decent footage onto this video. There's a couple of pictures of Piers' car, and then we'll go to some shots of my Thunder Shots, and also some more action shots of some Thunder Shots, and a few photos of some IconicRC members' Thunder Shots as well. Okay, let's go to that now. Okay, so that was the Tamiya Thunder Shot model 58067, released in 1987 and released again in 2005. I hope you enjoyed our overview. I'll be back very shortly with some more videos during this lockdown period, and I just want to take this opportunity to wish you and your families all the very best. Cheers.